Hello everybody and welcome back to another Chubbs Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the much divided Death Stranding. Um, Death Stranding is a Hideo Kojima game, and it's his post-delivery game where you deliver packages from A to B pretty much the entire game. um, just a heads up, this review is probably going to be mainly a positive review. I did enjoy the game very much, but I would like to already state off. I understand how no one or someone wouldn't like this game. I understand what type of game it is. Um, it's not really a fun game. I wouldn't describe this as fun. It's very immersive. I was immersed in the world constantly. Like, let's just start off by talking about the gameplay, right? Basically, it's your walking sim, and you have cargo on your back and on your body, and the more weight that's there, and the rougher the terrain, you might lean to the left or the right, and you gotta hold L1 or L2 and R2 to lean back and forth, or hold them both to balance yourself, or you're constantly doing that. So I would start off by saying, if you don't have patience, if you're not really a patient person, you're not gonna like this game. Because you have to play on this game's time, kind of not your time. Like, um, don't rush through it. I could see how people in Twitch, like Twitch streamers, you probably won't like this game. Any streamers won't like this game because you'll be sitting there trying to read chat, and then all of a sudden you look back and your guy's tumbled, and your packages have fallen, and you gotta soothe your BB because there's a BB that you gotta take care of. A lot of micromanaging tediness that on paper most people would hate. I would hate, but I really enjoyed the game. I would like to think that I would compare this game to two games kind of combined in a weird sense. It is a game on its own, and I appreciate uh, the new type of game it is in the world. Nothing ever before it. Um, so yeah, the gameplay, like I said, you're getting from A to point B, going through terrain. There's also things you can build, like ropes, ladders, bridges, roads, eventually generators, vehicles, and then the online features that when other people have their stuff built, all everyone their stuff built all around by everyone kind of coming together, and by the end of the game you'll have so much stuff on your map. It's really cool. Um, I'm not gonna be spoiling too much stuff about the story. Only stuff that's like gameplay wise and stuff that you're gonna know right away, or it's not that big of a deal. Like I won't touch on it now. But anyway, gameplay wise, I would say I compare this game to two games. Red Dead Redemption 2, first of all, um, on the fact that you're getting from point A to point B, and there's just one really good story being told. For Red Dead Redemption 2 or Red Dead Redemption, when you get from point A to point B, when you get to point B, there's kind of like you're rewarded with like a battling with shooting and slowing down time, and not slowing down time, but shooting gunfire. It's fun to battle and whatever. In this game, it's more like the satisfaction of actually getting to your point B, and then you end up getting more equipment to help you get to another, to help you travel even more. So like you get from point A to point B to get you better stuff to get from another point. So you'll get like robotic legs that help you carry more weight, or you get weapons, or things to build better structures out in the world, or anything. It's that's how you kind of progress in that sense. And then you also progress with a star like system that gives you better stats over time as you do more things. Kind of like when you just do them, it comes natural. Like you naturally progress. That's how I would describe it. Um, but anyway, I would compare it to Red Dead in that sense, and because Red Dead can kind of be boring if you don't like the whole nature aspect, or constantly just riding your horse around. If you didn't like that shit in Red Dead, you're not gonna like just walking around this game because it's just way more of that. And then Minecraft, I would say this is like a better version of a today's version of Minecraft. Minecraft's obviously its own thing, but in Minecraft, when you build structures, you have to go like farm it, like go punch a tree, go pick a thing, like use your pickaxe or whatever. That's such a weird comparison, but in this game, you just kind of walk around and pick up the materials and put them on your back, like another cargo thing, and then you go up to the item or the thing that you want to make, and you make it with the stuff that you picked up. It's kind of even more simple than Minecraft, but in a sense, it has this whole um, building aspect to it, and something that's kind of spoilery but not really. is that the weather in the game, the big part of the game, and the stuff you come across gameplay wise, is the rain accelerates time, and storms, right? They accelerate time. So the stuff you build over time will degrade if people aren't keeping up on it. So people could build the entire roads and highways and buildings and everything within like a week or two of this game coming out. But if people aren't there to keep up on it, everything will eventually go away, and we won't keep up with building America, like the game says. So I thought that was really cool. The game, in a sense, is endless, and a new, you can just sit there and build things forever and upgrade structures and keep up on them. You can connect more. I like the end game. I will be playing some more of this game, even though I beat it. Uh, I haven't touched on like the story or like visuals or characters, because that stuff is just all great. I'm sure we've all heard that is great, but if you need to be retold, that is perfect. The acting, the voice acting. I mean, the simple fact that there's a character named Fragile, and the only way you could describe her voice acting is is fragile. Like, her voice is very fragile. It's very corny. I would almost say the story is kind of like anime-ish. Like, obviously it's not an anime, but it's very like mind-blowing in the sense that it's like save the world craziness. Even though it's not, it doesn't seem like it's that serious at first. It turns out to be pretty serious, which means it's good. It goes out on a bang, is what I'm saying. It goes out really good. No cliffhangers. Everything's fulfilled. You get told everything, you know. And yeah, I would say it was a pretty good game. Good experience for me. I really enjoyed it. Uh, the only negatives were, oh, it has a great soundtrack too. Negatives were you can't play this game on, like, you have to really pick and choose when you want to play this game, right? If you're like a little tired or sleepy, this game gets very annoying quick. I didn't sit. It's why it took me so long to beat this game. I didn't sit and play it in long spans. It was only kind of like short spans, but I got a lot done. This game has to have your focus, plain and simple. And if you're not ready to get it focused, and if you don't like stopping and smelling the roses, uh, then it's just missing out. I would say one thing the game does kind of, I wish, is a lot of the flaws are just things that you wish. Um, well, the combat is actually a problem. The combat is not that great. You don't really have to endure it too much, and by the end of the game, or not even towards the end, but like when you really need weapons, you get good weapons. Like, you get grenade launchers and rocket launchers. Like, you don't even expect to get that shit early on in the game, but yeah, you get that type of stuff later on, and it's very useful. Um, but yeah, great story. Uh, I had a big problem trying to diverse Norman Reedus and Sam, but that was that, and the same with Troy Baker and Higgs. But those characters are their own thing still, and I'm definitely looking forward to more Death Stranding in the future. I hope Kojima makes more like Death Stranding too. I really do. I hope he takes his time, obviously, adds more to the system, polish the combat. Because I would say that this game is a walking sim, but the fact that it tries to have combat in it and it's not very good is upsetting. I wish it would just not have combat at all, and we would just be a pacifist the whole time. But not the boss battles essentially, but the walking around mules, the random marauder camps basically. They just weren't my favorite things to deal with in the game. I would say everything else was pretty good though. This game's not for everyone. You have to stop and smell the roses. You gotta like that type of stuff. It gets lonely. I had to kind of play my own soundtrack sometimes because it's so lonely in the world. I would I wouldn't describe this game as fun, which a lot of people kind of think that's crazy. I like it and it's not fun, but it's immersive. It's probably the most immersive game I've ever played in my life. It's so immersive that you have to be immersed into walking. It could be called as tedious, but it is tedious, but it's also immersive. I enjoyed it. Very fun, not very fun. Very very in depth, very immersive, and fulfilling overall. I'm trying to think of some negatives for this game. I had a few in my head, but it's just not. If you don't like the game, you don't like the game, and if you do, you will. Overall, my final rating, if I can think of anything else, I'm gonna have to give this game a 9 out of 10. It's almost a 10, but obviously it's not there. And this is just my personal rating. Yeah, I would say it's a must buy. I can't recommend it or anything like that. You gotta hear what I said. Do you feel like walking? Are you a patient person? Don't You can't rush, to one area to another. You gotta know this is gonna be a long journey, and then take the journey as a long journey, and that's it. Don't rush it. Otherwise, you'll be irritated. Uh, you lose your cargo in the water. Just know what you're getting yourself into if you get this game, okay? And then if you know what you're getting yourself into, you won't be let down. Like I was hyped for this game 3 years ago, and I'm so relieved and pleased with how it turned out. But that's just me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sure I missed something. I'll put it in the description or in the comments below for any details of the game that I missed. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks again so much for watching. Bye.